supremacy, as they have the choice here, and we are going to see triple Zeus from
Start the game already.
BrT, the Brazilian team, and Deities of Death are going for double Thor and Hades. And, well, that's going to be a pretty interesting matchup, to be honest, because I'm thinking that DoD definitely have a plan for their a very interesting good choice, especially the Hades is quite curious. And, well, we'll see if that's going to be enough. As for the teams, well, we are having pretty interesting ones, with J4 playing for DoT. He doesn't play all that often, even though it's not really any quality problem whatsoever, but just isn't common for him to play. And well, especially on this map that he doesn't really like all that much. Right now we are spawning at the left where we saw, we see exactly J4, who is going for some pretty nice fishing spots. So yeah, this is going to be pretty nice for him. And something interesting somewhere else. Triple piggies, he's already cast his gold mine and he has some chickens here. So he doesn't see any wild boars, so that's slightly unfortunate. And let's see if maybe someone from his team, like Pocket, Killer Boy, sees them.
Yes.
So far, it doesn't really seem so. He's pretty much the same, so it will be a theme here without wild boars somewhere close. And his spot for the rock is very nice because he's on kind of the farthest point in the sea, so that's pretty okay, same as J4. So I'm not really worried about them being in some bad position on the water there. The third from Dots is Brighead, who is already casting his gold mine as well. For Thor building a house, and his, well, yeah, it seems like we could have went a bit farther south here for a better spot in regards to the whole sea. But if you look at the fishing spots here, this is definitely better for the faster start and yeah, much more valuable food gathering at the very beginning. Switching to the other team, we have Metal here as the first Zeus from the triple Zeus of BrT, already discovering some extra piggies with his scout. And well, what's this relic? That's gold trickle, and that's going to help pretty much both teams without discrimination. And well, whoever picks it first is going to be receiving some quite nice boon from this. Okay, first the house, and he's going for the more or less standard build from for Zeus's gathering from the piggies right next to the town center, so that he doesn't have to build the granary. His spot, though, for the dogs is not that great. You can see he went for the better placement, slightly better than Brighead, but it didn't really pay off all that much, as his fishing spots are a bit farther behind, or rather farther away. Although he's having quite a lot of them here, so it will be just, I don't know, maybe a few seconds, and that's not really going to change the outcome of this game in any way. And yeah, this is pretty sweet, so I'm expecting this is going to be a pretty good spot for a second dock for him. The pocket for BrT is already having pretty nice echo here, and he went actually for the granary, but he didn't go for the storehouse. That's interesting. And hello, Nordic player. And he's already having quite a decent amount of picks, and I'm thinking he will be having a very nice start here as a pocket. His spot for the dock is kinda okayish, especially when we look at these three spots and the ones right at here. Well, I kinda expect he should be having something extra right here, as we are playing on the balance patch. There shouldn't be any shortage of fish anywhere near. What's this relic? That's favorite trickle. Well, as if Zeus is actually needed this. That's going to make their fun even stronger here. Something extra happening with Leonardo? Well, he's already dropping as the third Zeus from BrT, his temple, and well, he's already built his storehouse, and unfortunately for him, he didn't have enough pigs at the beginning, it seems, and he went for chickens without granary, which is kinda curious, and that definitely had to slow him down, especially when he has to build the granary right now. So I'm kinda thinking he won't be having a very good start, and you can especially see it when he's the lowest in points, just 3 or 6 points, but yeah, that's exactly the reason that he had to build both granary and the storehouse, and yeah, oh, he's slightly unfortunate on the map here, as all his fishing spots are very far away and not very close indeed. Yeah, this is pretty bad, because this will be very open to abuse from the early attacks from his opponents, and yes, he will I'm afraid we'll be without the water economy for quite some time. We are near the times where actual players should be advancing, and yes, they are. Freya is already 60% done for J4, and it's going to be a pretty fast advance, to be honest. It's like 4:15. That's pretty fast. And how about the other guys? 50% through Ares for Killer Boy, and well, this is some nice strategy brewing. And BrT is pretty much playing the same as J4. Both Thors are playing the same, and 85%, like 420. Classic rage for him, so that's going to be very nice indeed as well. About the opponent, 70% Hermes, 50% Athena, and 50% Hermes. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking that the Pestilence from the Ares won't be really effective. This is very curious here. You can see that Killer Boy is still getting in favor, so he's definitely interested in something with mythical units, so it's going to be very interesting indeed. And well, J4 is building some nice kind of forwardish temple to actually protect this TC and this gold as well. So this might be very interesting as he will be raiding and might be going for some extra army here. Well, we will have to wait and see. This Valkyrie is already going in for some raiding, so that's pretty nice. And well, you see that Metallo has abandoned his chickens and went for some extra gold to supply his production of ships on the water. Right now, BrT is making advantage of his earlier earlier time of advance. So some bolt here on the Valkyrie. Second throw power is Forest Fire, which is pretty important because Leonardo is having, yeah, he's at least having two, but this is the not that big one, this is the lesser one, and this is quite a lot of wood that might be missing for him. And here we have the Pestilence, and that definitely draws a first ceasefire. So pretty good job from Dots here, as they were having an upper hand. And well, let's see if this will actually help Dots or not. I'm kind of thinking they wouldn't be playing the Pestilence and the ceasefire. They basically are playing the ceasefire because they knew it will come. So I think they have some underlying plan, and what that might be. To amass more ships to actually delete their opponents. Uh, you are saying I am lagging when all you three guys are actually having shields, and in the game you had the reds. Seriously, that's you guys. That's you guys and not me. But anyway, another forest fire, so that second forest fire on blue, which is pretty bad for him, as he's losing pretty much all his wood line. He will be forced to go here, and he's forced to spend some extra wood on some storage houses, which is pretty interesting right now and important at this early stage of the game. So yes, this is a very good army. Red and green are not really having, well, they are having similar numbers, but I'm not thinking it's going to be enough, but with restoration it will be. So let's see how this will actually develop. And at the bottom, well, J4 is doing pretty well right now. He shouldn't be having all that much troubles here because of Leonardo being in a pretty bad spot with two forests being killed, and he having actually invest in some more buildings that he would actually want to do. The battle that's more interesting and more important is to be at the top. And if you look at the minimap, you already see that Red is actually taking second TC as the first from all the players, so that's interesting. And well, this water battle is definitely going in Dot's favor. So even though BRTs had the advantage of the ceasefire to amass more ships, actually the advantage is in Dot's favor. And right now it seems like we are heading into kind of a triple. Because Leonardo is right now not really an opponent, as he's just raiding with a bit of ships to try and disrupt the economy of the Dots, which is not really right now enough, as Yellow is pretty much killing Red with everything he has. Teal is killing green, and well, purple is killing yellow. Or what is it? Oh, yellow. Blue, actually. That's the last color here. Alright, so that's I think the water pretty much heading for the Dots, and right now I think that BRTs actually recognize this, and that's why they are sending their ships into some kind of raiding positions to actually kill as many fishing ships as they can until all their ships are killed. All the BRTs are heading for the second TCs. You look at the minimap, which is right now another reason to think that they have abandoned the water right now. Yeah, you see that they are not really building anything else, and that's a pretty convincing victory for Dots here. So their strategy was pretty nice and worked like a charm. So let's check some TCs here and maybe some bases if we are going to see some armory up. If maybe somebody is looking to advance into Heroic right now. Well, doesn't seem so, but we are heading for TCs, at least Killer Boy as the pocket is going for the second. And how's it looking somewhere else? Well, Brigade is preparing some military buildings, so he will be interested going for some fun. And, well, third bolt is gone as well, so that's 3 Valkyries, 3 bolts, I think, if I remember correctly. And, well, how's it looking somewhere here? Okay, archery range and stable, preparing for an onslaught because J4 is already switching into some land army and he's interested in some raiding. Yeah, that's just raiding cavalry, and yeah, he will try to actually ensue with some battle against his opponents. So right now on the water, definitely just DoDs trying to catch the remaining boats here. That's just a huge army of everybody here from DoD side, and well, this is kind of interim here where not much interesting stuff will be happening. We're just gonna see how everybody is preparing. Brigade taking second TC, and Red, well, he already has the second TC secured and is taking a third at the back, and well, preparing some nice military buildings here at the forefront. And it almost seems like Green will be joining him here because of the Minotaur here, but I kinda think it's just too early to tell right now. Leonardo is trying to take a 30C, but I think J4 should have seen that with his raiding cavalry, but does he have enough army to actually go through with some kind of attack? I'm thinking not. Odysseus and Michael Centaur is going to be enough to deal with all this, and well, yeah, I'm kinda thinking this TC is reasonably safe right now. Killer Boy in the meantime has taken a 30C, so he's pretty happily booming, heavily and happily at the same time, and well, someone else thinking about some interesting stuff. Well, Killer Boy is definitely joining at the top, so it seems like J4 is very comfortable with taking Leonardo 1v1, and this is going to be very interesting 2v2, because right now, Seattle MC is at 3 TCs, but he's not taking anything at all. So I'm thinking at this point that they are aiming for some faster advances into Heroic and possibly just jumping into Mythic. And I think maybe all of them at once. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And since BrT actually insisted on Supremacy and not Conquest, they might be aiming for some kind of won the late game. So let's see if that will happen. Well, J4 on the bottom side tried to actually stop the TC from being built, but yeah, we already seen before that that's not really going to happen, and it did not happen. So they will have to wait for a bit better army and a bit stronger army here. But at the same time, it's not like Leonardo actually has army to go forward and make life difficult for J4, who is right now at least making use of this time and trying to secure the TC, but unfortunately for him, Leonardo's scout was just right on spot. And, well, he is trying to secure the TC. And, well, will actually Blue go for it? Yeah, he seems to be kinda indecisive. But, well, let's see what's happening at the top right now. Because there is Brigade's army trying to raid. And, well, Metal was trying to actually secure this gold and build some walls. Which, unfortunately for him, has been at least slightly delayed. But with the amount of toxods here, I'm kinda thinking that dots won't have enough to do anything about it. Yeah, just a lot of infantry. That's not a good trade with the toxods here. Right now, everybody just happily booming. Brigade also going for 30C. I'm really curious who's going to be advancing into Heroic first here. So far, none of dots are going in. And you can see that Leonardo is actually going for some fun, trying to disrupt what J4 is doing, but J4 is not really interested, and the quite opposite is going to happen from him, because he is using his raiding cavalry to actually kill this Svidi, building the wall, and he will be going for raiding. So, good job, and good luck with that. Right now it seems like Metal will be alone at the top, and the Green is joining Blue at the bottom. Yes, this is quite interesting raiding. He's just trying to get rid of those towers so that he has a clear road into the base here. Unfortunately for him, He's just Leonardo has just run out of gold, so he will be moving somewhere else, and that means not many villies will be in a favorable position for Aiden here. I'm just impatiently waiting really for the heroics here. And here we have an armory, so that might... Oh yeah, here is the first one for Apollo, 25%, and he has the scout very nicely placed at the back. So I'm pretty sure Seattle's plan right now is going to hop into Mythic right after, and then go with some Colossi to the back and wreak some havoc in the TCs there. So a pretty decent army from Metallo here. I'm kinda thinking he will be nearing his pop limit very soon, and with that in mind, I'm kinda thinking he might be advancing as well. He has armory up, so he will be going anytime soon, if I didn't miss it. No, I did not. And yeah, this is right now 2 versus 2, and with the strong toxots from Killer Boy, that's not going to go all that easy. This is actually a pretty good combo right now, the Hades, the Thor, because the Myrmidons won't be really all that strong against both the dots, because they have a better attack only against the Norse, and they will be pretty much nullified by the super strong archers from the Hades here. So it seems like dots really put the thought behind the strategy that they are playing today. So the attempt actually to raid and go for some offensive from Metallo is going sour for him, and it results in some reasonable attack from Brighead and Killer Boy. And Brighead is already in the heroic, and I think somebody else advanced as well. Yeah, that was Seattle, that we knew about. Well, let's see if this attack actually is going to change something. Killer Boy through Apollo as well. So that will be at least that, so... This is, yeah, definitely not going well for BrT, so let's switch at the bottom. But first though, we can see that Seattle is not really going full front at the bottom. Right now he's switching at the top because, yeah, he saw that the double is there, and that's the correct answer, and Leonardo will have to fare by himself at the bottom. So this is pretty much stallish right now with both BRTs and the dots 2v2. And how's it looking at the bottom? We saw some blue dots in J4's military base, which is right now not happening anymore, as Leonardo had to retreat because he didn't really have that strong army to deal with this. And well, J4 is right now having medium cavalry, but Leonardo is having just normals. So if this hill fort actually goes up, it seems like J4 is doing better than his opponent Leonardo. On the water we don't really see anything extra. Yeah, this hill fort is not going to be up all that easily, and well, much more interesting stuff going on, and it seems like DoD are winning in this battle. And yes, they actually really are winning in this battle, and quite convincingly, because they are having ups, it seems. Yeah, wow, that's a pretty good line of upgrades actually for this stage of the game from Teal. How's it looking with Yellow? I'm kind of thinking he has good upgrades as well. Well, he has at least heavy archers, which is very strong, and yes, Seattle Hephaestus, here he is, and I think we can reasonably soon expect the underworld passage at the back of DoD's base. So right now we are also seeing some building spam from Metallo, which is I think a pretty good idea because they will be needing it. And well, how's it looking here? BrT not having really any upgrades here, just mediums, and that might come back to bite them because upgrades really turn the battle less around. And once this TC is down, it's not going to be easy to go for the BrT. Sorry, I just meant to say TBL because these 3 players actually form a TBL. I think Leonardo as well, but not sure about him. But anyway, let's go back to the battle. Tower is gone, and Killer Boy is through Hephaestus, so that's 1v1 more or less. And yeah, here we go. This guy will be looking for some good spot for the underworld passage, it seems. So does he already have something ready? Yes, he has. So he's definitely thinking about it. So let's keep this in check, and in the meantime, let's see what J4 is doing with his army. Well, Leonardo is still having absolutely no upgrades, whereas J4 is having heavy raiders and the baseline, so shouldn't be having problems in 1v1 with the armies here. Well, right now it will be basically waiting for J4's favorite strategy, and that means go Ragnarok. And we see some shenanigans on the water as well, and that means that Seattle is going back, and he is aiming to disrupt some of the water echo that dots have ready there. Killer Boy has begun research on Titans, and well, this is going very interestingly indeed. So the TC at the top is down, which is a problem for BrT, and if DoDs can take it soon, that's going to be a TC advantage and very hard time for BrT to get back into the game here. Because right now they're not doing well. You can see on the minimap that J4 is eaten into Blue's base, and well, here Killer Boy together with Brighead are doing the same to Seattle and Metal. So here we have the Underworld Passage. And where did it go? Where did it go? Here did it go. In the base and the shoreline. Okay, so that's a pretty neat one. Where is it going to go? Alright, pretty much at the TCs, I think. Some Myrmidons and Colossi with some Billies, and kinda curious what's going to happen here. They still have Leonardo 1 ceasefire, so they can potentially steal the TC. This is a fortress to defend it, and will actually Killer Boy use this Underworld Passage right now, or will they try to survive this? Really curious what's going to happen right now. Yes, they call the Underworld Passage, and yeah, they recognize that serious stuff is going to happen here. Very serious stuff indeed. How's it looking right now? A lot of archers, that's not going to be enough, because those 3 colossi are going to be pretty tanky here. Pretty tanky. Leonardo is in Hephaestus as well, and J4 really has to hurry if he wants to kill his opponent before the mythical Zeus kicks in full strength. So this is a very interesting battle. Right now, basically all dots from the top have retreated through the Underworld Passage. They will be trying to take this, and yeah. TC being built, and well, Killer Boy is just too late, and this is going to result in some ceasefire, or will it? They probably want to take down the TC first, and then maybe call it, which is kind of interesting choice, but well, I kind of think this is misplayed here. Yeah, yellow is right now stealing the TC. The second TC is down, but that's not really going to go all that well, and well, this is kind of interestingly played from BRTs. I'm right now not sure what they are waiting with the ceasefire. They definitely should have stolen the TC with it, and right now it's definitely coming back to bite them, and they're not doing well here at all. For a quick look, let's have a look at the bottom, where Killer Boy is helping J4 with some extra siege, some Petroboli, and well, here we have the Bellerophon, the death of any siege at range. Once this TC is down, the battle will be pretty much okay, and well, this is a surprise, J4 advancing through there and not going for Ragnarok, so let's see how this happens. Alright, so that's why he goes for it, because he wants to have strong flaming weapons and cover it with the Fimbul Winter so that he can't be ceasefired. So that's basically the TC down here, and well, this will be a very tough time for Leonardo right now. He's having some upgrades, just baseline. J4, pretty good line, and yes, he should be winning here, especially with the help of the Wolfies. So let's go back to the top, where the situation has been resolved as we could have thought. Yeah, basically no presence here from Seattle anymore. And well, in the forefront, that just wasn't going anywhere, the battle here, because it was won by dots, and Metal has already resigned, as he recognized that the battle has been lost. Yeah, the Underworld Passage into the middle was basically the plan from the start, I would say, and they kinda mishandled it with not casting the ceasefire here, but to be completely honest, I don't think it would have helped anyway. Pretty nicely played and very good strategy from dots, and they definitely showed us that there are different ways to play Merit and win against 3 Zeuses. Pretty good job, dots. So GG, and let's have a look at the post game. Killer Boy as a pocket, yeah, and I would have to agree that he really played well on the water, on the land. Yeah, making the correct decisions here. But overall, the whole dot team played really well. But it doesn't mean that BRTs played somehow bad. Actually played quite nicely, because when they recognized they are not going to win the water, they switched very fast and very boomy into the land. and they definitely had the chance to overpower their opponents, but somehow, yeah, Dots probably had a better plan. Quite a lot of food from Killer Boy and Wood as well. And yeah, Gold, he was just